upness, boys? I want to say for the record, this video is not scripted. I had the base premise of what I wanted to talk about for this video, but then I just came back from out of town literally yesterday. I was like on like 30 hours of really no sleep. And I had a topic for this video, and I still do have the topic, but I don't have the exact topic in mind that I want to cover. But I made a book, I want to talk about it, and I want to run it down for you guys. You know, I think weekly videos kind of discussing the creating process of the book would be pretty interesting. I think it'll be fine to have like the green screen thing in the back, but bam, this is my thing of 7 days of max productivity. So I went on a trip, I think the 1st. I left town on the 1st of October. Oh my God. And I came back yesterday, which is the 6th. And I want to point to this. The 7 days of productivity that I basically had for the book was the 22nd I had, and I had to finish enough chapters, get my thingy out, and have all the stuff. And yeah. And we did it I did it by the 28th, which I was pretty happy about, but you don't really care about that because what is that relevant to? Well, the thing that it's relevant to is I want to talk to you about my writing philosophy. Now, if you're on the Patreon, and the Patreon is free, by the way, like anyone could access like the free tier. You know, there's paid tiers if you want to give me money. I love money. But there's a free tier where I talk about it, and also if you read the chapter 0 of my book, which is available on multiple platforms like Tapas, Web Novel, Royal Road, Scribblehood, Wattpad, and of course, if you want to read early access to chapters, Patreon. But basically, what I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about today is my philosophy on writing in a different way, and what kind of pisses me off in storytelling. And I think, you know, as someone who really enjoys that storytelling component, because even when I was, oh my God, even when I started this channel, it was based off skits. Now, skits, I love it for the storytelling and all that. And I did gaming because, you know, I like playing games, but, you know, I feel like there wasn't as much of that storytelling as I could really get into. Damn it. I'm trying to take this marker off. Anyways, this video is like very, what I want to get to is the cause and effect in storytelling. That is something that I find very interesting, but I think I want to talk like on something more niche today. So I think the topic of today's video, if we're doing the weekly things, that I don't like as an author, I guess to help me grow as an author and you as a reader know, or you know, as a viewer, know what I don't like in storytelling and why I don't like it. And maybe, you know, you do some of your own and, you know, the book's popping off. You're like, oh my God, maybe I can learn from Atomfactor or Adam, you know, because my name is A-D-A-M for y'all who don't know. And the name, you know, Adam, right? I'm not sure if I'm writing that too small. Atom, and then I just added a factor. Why? Is my name Atomfactor? Because when I used to play basketball, right? You could probably tell I'm black and I'm pretty tall, like 6'3", and muscular. My nickname was X Factor, but that was the name of the singing TV show. And I can't sing. And X Factor, I always thought was kind of a stupid name because he's got that X Factor, and I'm like, what? Why can't I be called like the Beast or something? Like if y'all played Infamous. But I'm like, you know what? Atom, X Factor, Atomfactor, it just works perfectly. I coined that term, right? I've seen other Atom Factors lying around, you ripoffs. I had this term in 2012 on Roblox. Go to Roblox, you'll see it. But I am getting way off topic, and I want to talk on the topic of note, which is flashbacks. I hate flashbacks. I hate flashbacks so much. I never want to see them again. But I actually love flashbacks. I think flashbacks are like one of the greatest narrative tools. That's not true. I think flashbacks are great tools if you use them properly. But I feel like there's different ways to use flashbacks. And I'm not going to name call, but Alan Moore, he said it best. You have to take what you hate in books and do the opposite. Because if you only read what you like, you might just copy it. Like creativity is, it's like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But you also take what you like and make it your own. But you also do what you don't like. You don't do that. So here's how I don't like in flashbacks, right? We have Johnny, Johnny is I'm gonna write bigger so you can see this better. I'm gonna split it into two ways, all right? We have good. But no, I'm gonna start with the bad flashbacks and then we do the good. You know, it's like, which news do you want me to break to you first? I'm gonna give you the bad news first. I'm gonna give you the bad flashbacks. So now we have Johnny. I wrote him bigger so you could see him. Oh, I'm special. So this is Johnny. And then this is, let's call her Jennifer. I'm giving her little eyebrows so you could tell she's feminine. Nice lips and maybe some, nice, hold on. Let me give her childbirthing dyes. Oh my goodness, I'm such an artist. It looks like I gave her a diaper. Anyways, so this is Jennifer, right? We got Johnny, Jennifer, little JJ. Oh my goodness. We got a little JJ action. We have the story, we're progressing, right? It's left to right linear. But of course, when we're writing, we also have subplots. So let's say you see this arrow, right? Let me get a different color so it's easier to see because it's kind of tiny. Let me reach over. Yeah, let me get that. Blue is such a nice color. I'm gonna do blue for you. We have the blue arrow, right? Y'all see that? Yeah, y'all see that blue arrow, right? And then you also have like subplots, all that, but it's left to right. Let's say Johnny and Jennifer. This is Johnny's story, right? He's got that main character halo. He's the main character. But then it's like, you know what? Oh my God, I want to make like she looks demonic like that. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, it's like Jennifer, we want to find more about her. We're going to give her a backstory. We're going to have a little revelation into her past. So, or maybe this character is reincarnated and they do 5 chapters of flashbacks about his past or her past. But here's the thing. I hate those. I don't care. And you know, maybe those do work in some stories, but I think I've seen videos about why it doesn't work. But I hate. And that's, my father says hate is a strong word, but if I'm not talking about an actual person, like I don't hate a person, but I can hate a concept, you know what I'm saying? I hate these flashbacks because I feel like they're irrelevant. I'll give you an example, right? Let's say, let me go back to the OG color. Actually, all right, the video, for some reason the video cut off, but we're good. So let me give you an example, right? Let's say, I'm doing purple now. Let's say Johnny is the main character, which she is, and in the story about, put it higher so y'all can see. Damn. Hold on, let me get this, let me get it closer. Yeah. So this is a story about Johnny, and you know, it's a typical action adventure. Johnny reincarnates into another world, and he's happy, and he's gonna be the strongest to ever do it, and he's like, you know, he has this little sword, this is a sword, and he's a hero. You could kind of see it, right? Johnny is the GOAT. And then after that, you have 5 chapters of Johnny's past life, and then you go back to the normal chapters of Johnny on his adventure, right? And then you go back, this is getting small, but then you go back to Johnny's past life, and the thing is, why do you care? Because it's not progressing the immediate story in any way that affects you. It gives you more backstory in a way, but does it really affect anything? Now, some people might not mind it, but I find it completely useless. So that's why the topic I'm talking about today. So now, let's go back to the other side, right? Let's say the good type of flashbacks. And the flashbacks I personally implement myself in my story. So, you know, it's like, oh, Adam, you're a hypocrite. You say you don't like flashbacks. There's different types. And the reason I use it is because I, as a reader, don't mind them. So let's say 2 people, let's see. I have an example, right? Let's say Naruto. Have y'all seen, what's something that a lot of people, I said I wasn't going to name drop. I always use Naruto or the big 3. All right, let's say Johnny. We're going to have the same main characters again. Johnny, right? He has a sword, right? Johnny with the sword. And he learned a technique with the sword where he could do like a slash with the sword and a little energy beam goes out. Ooh, yeah, y'all see that? Like, ooh, little energy beams. I could have done a different color. Let me get blue on that shit so it's easier to see. Yeah. Johnny with the sword slash. Wow. So, that's cool, right? And he's in this fight. And you're like, they're fighting. And then I think it'd be cool to like have a flashback where it kind of shows how Johnny learned this technique and like the areas it could go. And I think this isn't necessarily a flashback in my mind because it immediately affects the story almost immediately because you're learning things and about the power system and its restrictions and strengths. And they do that in anime all the time. And I think the big reason I don't like that is it aligns with, I guess, I've coined my 3 commandments of writing. These are my 3 commandments, and they're somewhat similar to flashbacks, and they're kind of similar to everything I write, you know, and this could be anything. Like this isn't maybe something like I necessarily, you know, coined. It's just something I notice detailing my own writings as a writer. I wrote in like 2 paragraphs. No, like I wrote like 2 pages just detailing what I don't like and I like in stories. And yeah, so these are my 3. Oh my God, the black actually stands out so much better. Sorry for y'all who were trying to actually read this. I mean, if my handwriting wasn't messy enough, right? So my 3 commandments of writing, right? 1, 2, 3. I don't think it's blasphemous to use the word commandments. Like, I don't think so. It's like 3 rules of writing, whatever. You get it. So my first is plot. Second is plot, info. And the third one is, damn, what the hell, is characters. And this ties into why I do not like flashbacks the first way, the bad way. And to break it down, let's keep it a buck. So plot, these are things that at least 2, preferably, have to be in every chapter or every scene. It has to have at least one, but preferably at least 2 of these. 1, it has to be progressing the plot in some way. 2, it has to be giving you some information you didn't know before that's relevant to the plot and again can enhance the plot. And 3, it has to build the character. Now, the bad flashbacks, it can kind of make you learn more about the character and it is giving you more info. So it's like, Adam, why do you mind it then? Because it doesn't really help the plot. And yes, it's kind of 2 out of 3, but the character building is way from the past, so it's not really relevant. And 2, the info isn't relevant to the really here and now. It could be like, oh my God, he learned a technique from back then, so this and that. But I've seen so many books where they spend like 5 chapters where it's like, oh, it's me at the orphanage when I was young in my past life. Like, bro, I do not care, because what does that affect now? No, it's like if you were like, if they spent like maybe like a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, even like a page at most on it, it wouldn't be as bad, but it's just floundering. I like my books to be cause and effectal. And I said I wasn't going to talk about cause and effect in this chapter, because cause and effect is maybe something I'll talk about in the next video. Who knows? You know, I like doing these little weekly things while I'm doing weekly chapters, while I'm doing, you know, little weekly, I don't know, I was going to rhyme with weekly, but I don't know. I ain't got bars like, I do have bars, but not right now. But that is my thing and why I strongly believe that way. The 3 commandments: plot, info, characters. If the good flashback, they're fighting, blah, 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 and they do a flashback to maybe him learning about it, it's immediately relevant to the plot, because and it also gives you the info so you as a reader know more about it, and it shows the character of you're kind of with him on it. And I think it's cool pacing as well, because instead of like, he's in the lab and then he fights, it's like, bam, 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 they're fighting. And it's like, ooh, he takes you back. And then he puts you right back in it. It's like, how do I say this without being weird? It's like you're like, you know, like strokes and then you're out. It's like, oh, no, give me more. Like, bam. I'm going to cut that because that was inappropriate. I'm sorry. It's like a Sour Patch where it gets, no, it's a reverse Sour Patch where it gets sweet. And a little sour, a little tangy. And then it gets sweet again. There's not candy like that, but it'd be pretty cool. So, yeah, that's it. I'm apologizing because I know this is all over the place, but I don't think I've been this excited about like a topic in so long. Like, I loved skits and stuff when I did that on the channel, and then I got into gaming because I love gaming. But like this, I'm really, really passionate and really excited about. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was out of town on the trip, I had a lot of sugar, and I don't do well with sugar. It has like my brain from like 0 to 100 on like just being scatter-minded. So like now I'm back and I'll be on like a normal no sugar diet, just, you know, steak and eggs. My brain should be calmed down. Like next week's, you know, weekly thing should be more calm. But if you did watch this, I appreciate it. If you didn't watch it, you won't even see this. But yeah, have a good one, boys. And thank you for watching. Check out the book. And yeah, deuces.